I'm just going to mute this.
Technical difficulties, but it's okay because we are here now with Good Talks with Bad Moms, and we have to go through the technical difficulties sometimes because it's worth it, because then you recognize that, hey, guess what? Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to go through with this, and I'm going to wait 45 minutes until we start.
Whatever, bro. Nobody knows.
And we thank you, all of you who stayed with us until now to watch the show. You guys all rock. And whoever's watching this after the fact, we salute you too. Thank you for watching Bad Moms.
They have sound.
They have sound, yes.
Yeah,
they can hear us. Perfection.
They can hear it on Instagram, on the live.
Today, I have my friend, my business partner, a person who I consider to be a very funny individual. Because we have Good Talks. Nice. With Bad Moms.
Yeah, for sure.
Armand Vakili.
Yeah, the way that Tandy came in, you're the bad mom. It's like, yeah, that's the person.
Closer to the mic, the backstage is saying production is on our ass.
No,
anyway,
for sure, I got it. You got it.
Armand Vakili, he is aware of all hats. And
not all, but sure.
Not all.
Several, at least.
I mean, you could wear all hats if you wanted to.
Yeah, but not well.
Not well. It won't fit.
Yeah.
He's aware of several hats, everyone.
Sure.
Okay, Armand, thank you for being here today with us.
It's a pleasure.
Today we're going to be talking about something different. Sorry, trolls. We're not going to be talking about your favorite topics today.
Can I take a moment real quick just to give you your flowers? Because this is like really, really impressive. Just seeing
of course.
what
Why would I deny you that?
I don't know how many people saw the stuff that we did when we were trying to work things out of your garage, and we were trying to work things out of my house in Reseda, and like there were many attempts made at something like this, and then just to walk into this environment and be like, yo, this is legit. And I wish people could actually see how legit the studio is and how amazing the people behind the scenes are. To actually have a machine behind you supporting you, I think is amazing, and it's long overdue, and I'm just very happy that this is happening, and I'm really excited to be here. So thank you for having me. And
that was
then
awesome.
We can talk about whatever you want to talk about at this point. I just wanted to like officially acknowledge for the fact that this is amazing. This is real shit.
The crowd goes wild.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. That's amazing.
Well, I thank you. Thank you so much. The next person on this mic's going to smell the coffee breath on it. It's all
whatever.
Good.
They should be privileged. They should feel privileged. They should be graceful and thankful to their God that they got a chance to do that.
Hey,
breathe the same air as you.
Wow. He's just giving me flowers, bouquets.
Yeah, for sure. It's well deserved.
Thank
it's
you
absolutely
so much.
necessary. I think it's necessary.
I feel that in order for this to have happened, we have to make connections with people, and we have to be open open to learning with them and about them, and following them sometimes. So
sure.
I want to also give flowers again to my friend Manuk.
Let's go.
He brought us to this wonderful studio.
Shout out Manuk.
I always love being here with Christian and Emilio and all those fine people. And now we have a new beautiful woman in the production end, and she's making it happen.
Anything but Candy.
She's Tandy.
Inside
Tandy,
joke. Yeah,
Tandy.
just call her anything but Candy.
All right. Well, this is fun.
Sure.
Armand, thank you again for joining us today.
Yeah, absolutely.
I want to take it back to why we're here, and we're here to learn about the world of hacking, and maybe not the whole wide world of hacking, but maybe parts of it that we can readily assess, readily identify, maybe, figure out how we can go, I guess, avoid getting hacked.
Protect yourself.
Protect ourselves.
Yeah.
And I know that there's a lot of companies out there that are claiming to protect your identity and whatnot.
Right.
But what can we do ourselves without the help of companies? Just first thing that you would give us as an advice about how not to get hacked or how to avoid getting hacked. So, like, what's a simple thing that we can do?
Sure. So I would say awareness is everything. And just to kind of share my story of how I got into it, because I think this will be a perfect example of what to do and what not to do. So I was socially engineered, and social engineering is a technical term for conning somebody. It was a long con. In the world of espionage, they refer to it as the honeypot. So I was honeypotted. And essentially, at the time, I was heavily into smoking weed. I was heavily drinking. I was lonely because this was like smack dab in the middle of the pandemic. And so combining all of those elements, I was the perfect mark. And a weak-willed person who is unaware because they're just so shitted all the time. Can I cuss, by the way? Are we allowed to curse? Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm just going off.
I mean, look, no kids are awake at this hour watching our show.
Whatever. If they are, they probably have heard so much worse in their game stream.
I can't believe BadMoms is cussing and going and fighting at school boards. Yeah, you need me to go there and cuss.
She just went off on a rant. I said one thing and Narina just lost
I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I talked about it. Anyway,
it's cool, bro. It's all good.
Need to sharpen
this is why we're here. This is why we're here.
You can cuss. In short.
So, the person who is absolutely wasted, who's lonely, who doesn't have a strong constitution is the perfect mark for organizations who are designed to hack you. So this is a very real thing where there's companies that are set up in Bangladesh and India and all these different remote locations whose entire intention is to hack us. And they don't do it by getting into the systems, by the machines themselves, because these things, believe it or not, are actually fairly secure. The weakest link in the chain is the human being. So if I can engineer you, then my job is done, which is called social engineering. And so this is what happened to me, essentially. It took them 3 months to do it. They ultimately got about 90% of my savings. I lost a lot of money to the point that I had to borrow money for rent. That's how bad it was. And that was a very traumatic experience. And it became the anchor that I was like, okay, look, you know, people that probably know me through your network know me as the finance guy, and I'm still the finance guy. I still have the licenses. I still do that business. But I went like headfirst into cybersecurity. When that happened, I was like, I don't know what just happened, but it's never going to happen to me again.
Yeah.
And it was a very similar trigger as to why I got into financial services. So being aware is the first thing that you can do. Unfortunately, I would like to say that we live in this world that's super positive and everybody's out to help each other, but there are enough people who want to hurt you, and they are capable enough to come after you that if you just
and
aren't
you don't even
aware,
know them.
No.
Yeah.
You think you're talking to somebody that you know. They will study you. There's something called OSINT, which is open source intelligence, which is your social media profile, your email address that you attach to your social media profile. They'll look at what you went to and what locations you have tagged on your pictures to know what areas of town you're at, what your interests are. And they'll build a profile on you so that when they reach out to you, they know exactly how to approach you. There are spammers in the world of hacking. Well, they'll just do like this shotgun approach and attack anybody. They call that like general phishing, phishing.
Is that when you get those text messages saying, hey,
Correct,
this is
yes.
Anna?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
And those, I never understand those. Like I play along with them sometimes. I'm like, yeah, I'm Lisa. What's up? What do you want?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, are you my friend Lisa? Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I'm Lisa. What do you want? What's going on? It's like, no, I just wanted to know if you wanted to get to lunch. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's get lunch. And like, I play the con along, and I'm like, what's your end game here? Like, what are you trying to do here?
So ultimately, what the end game for that person who pretty much fished you.
Well, it was like it was such a for them the way it was way past phishing. So phishing is essentially when you get an email. Don't go off camera. You need to be centered. It doesn't. Phishing is when you get a blast email. They send a blast email to everybody, and they pretend like they are this kind of one thing that they know about everybody. Spear phishing is when they go after an individual person and they hone in on you specifically. What happened to me was social engineering spear phishing, because they came after me as a person and they studied me and they got under my skin. Phishing in general is when they go after a bunch of people. And then there's something called vishing, which happens through phone calls.
Okay.
And then there's something called smishing that happens through SMS text messaging. But it's all under the guise of social engineering. So they just want to get to the person. And if somebody bites, then they'll continue the con along and they'll continue the engineering along. So that's where it all starts. So if you bite and then click on a link or open an attachment on an email that you shouldn't, the attachment, as soon as you open it, something runs in the background that now your computer has been hooked, is the technical term. And now they can watch
phishing.
you. Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah. It's all very... These hacking
these
nerds are so that's literally what I was about to say. These freaking nerds, man, the amount of time and energy that they've put into like, naming these things.
Yeah, it's like I never go fishing.
It's amazing, bro. Yeah, exactly. A person that has probably never gone fishing in their life comes out and comes up with these things. So awareness would be the first thing. The second thing, and then we can go into some of like the technical protection aspects as well, but the big thing for anybody that's watching this is not so much that your device is at risk. It's that you are probably doing something.
You're the at risk.
Yeah, you're the person that needs to start checking some of your activities so that, you know, hopefully you don't do any wrong activities. You don't do, yeah, we have sound. I had to mute myself just to make sure. But as long as you don't do certain activities, and then again, we can go into all of that stuff, you'll be fine.
Like, what are the activities that you would get into that would compromise your identity?
Okay, so a really good one that's very common is you connect to a public Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And you start checking your bank balance.
Don't be dumb.
Yeah. When you're connected to a public Wi-Fi, don't go into any of your bank accounts. Don't go into any of your accounts that have, at the very least, don't go into the accounts that have money in them. If you want to check your social media, fine. I wouldn't go into my email if I was connected to a public Wi-Fi at this point. I used to do it all the time. I used to go at a freaking Starbucks and start working at the Starbucks for like 6 hours, right? And then you just use free Wi-Fi and you do. But now you fully understand that it's a big risk factor. I can just sniff the traffic is the technical term. If I'm the hacker, I'll sit in the parking lot of that place, connect to their public Wi-Fi, and run this program called Wireshark. It's a free program. That's the other scary part about this, that like all of these hacking tools are free. They're like open source tools that if you just know how to use them, you can actually go and do some really big damage.
Hey, hacker to be, don't you dare take any of this information and go wild with it.
It's a felony, by the way. Like anybody that has ever done anything like this, especially in America, there have been caught, and it's a serious felony. And worse than being put in jail, the government will own you, and you will have to work for the government for the rest of your life. So it's not...
Well then.
Yeah. It's like, I consider that to be worse than going to jail.
Yeah, of course. Imagine
like
you're like the freaking snitch for the government.
That's it. The Big Brother owns you. You are now a slave to Big Brother. And they pay you shit, and now you have to do everything that they want you to do.
They're giving you rations.
Yeah, that's a really good way of putting it. Yeah. So don't connect to public Wi-Fi. That's like one of the big things. It's like if you do connect to public Wi-Fi, keep it super, super generic. Don't do anything that is sensitive. It has sensitive information attached to it. For example, logging into your bank account. Because all it takes is to sniff that traffic, capture that session, because I don't need your password at that point. If I just capture your session, I can now get your encryption and get into your account. So just don't connect to public Wi-Fi. If you do, be very limited in the activity that you use. That's the first thing. The second thing is, for your cell phone, you can actually have a password to get into it instead of a 6-digit code. So you can actually set up a password to get into your phone. Have a complex password to get into your phone. Have a complex password to get into your computer. There's password.
When you say complex, you mean a mixture of symbols and letters and numbers?
I use sentences because that way I can remember them. Instead of using random lettering and random things, I use sentences.
So like my dog ate my homework, and it would be MD.
That's probably solid. Yeah, that's probably solid. My dog ate my homework. Capitalize the first letters of everything. Take, instead of
click on I'm not a robot.
Yeah, that's kind of irrelevant. The I think what you're referring to is two-factor authentication or multi-factor authentication. So it's like you log into something and they send you a text message with a code that says, "Hey, did you try to log into this place?" And then you use that code. That's it's a strong way of doing it. But there are password dictionaries. There's been so many password lists that have been hacked from. The first one was MySpace. Adobe had a really big one. Facebook had a password leak. They're like really big password. Like we're talking about hundreds of millions of passwords inside of a free text document that you can get from GitHub that I just run an attack against your system.
Is that why we were always getting hacked?
Yeah.
Our accounts getting hacked on Instagram and people going into our accounts and sending emails.
Because you have a weak password. That's the thing.
My password's not weak. It's my name with 2 numbers.
Why are you telling people that?
Because it's not my
what
password.
What kind of crap is that? Like, what? It's the big... What the fuck was that? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So you're going to change your password as soon as we finish this meeting. Who does
you guys,
that, bro?
If you can sign into my Instagram, I got signed out by Instagram, narsmart_badmoms. Let me know, okay? Because I can't sign back in.
Oh my God, I can't believe that. That was glorious. That was glorious.
It's fun. When Christian laughs, I know it's like a hit.
Yeah. Sure. Christian is a tough critic, evidently. Put your phone upside down so that you stop looking at it. What are you looking at?
You're absolutely right.
What are we curious about here?
I was just reading the comments from our viewers. That's it. I just wanted
to viewers, we love you. We absolutely love you, but we want to also not get distracted by you.
Yes.
So we're just going to have our conversation and then we'll
contributing to the algorithm. By the way, can you guys share this video and tag Red Angeles, please, if you're watching? Because, why else are we doing this? Why else are you watching if you're just going to hog this show?
Tell your mom, tell your grandparents. They're most likely the ones that are going to click on random crap that goes through their phones.
Just help us build a show, build a channel, build a presence. And you can say, oh my God, I know Nar. I know Armand.
Or save your family.
Save your family.
It's like it's one thing to support the channel. You can absolutely be narcissistic. We've already established this. This is long established for the last decade. So we can definitely support Narina. That's why we're all here. Support BadMoms, support Red Angeles. Absolutely amazing stuff.
Support Armand.
Yeah.
His channel's about to hit 10K.
Yeah, because I don't tell people he supported me. I'm like, hey, what do you want me to do for you? What do you want me to do for you?
Support.
That's my whole thing. It's like, I was a victim of an attack. My mom gets these crazy text messages all the time. My sister started sending me screenshots of this stuff that she gets, and she's like, hey, this seems kind of crazy. I'm like, yeah, it's definitely something social engineering. Like they're trying to do something. Some of them don't make sense, but they're definitely trying to mess with you in some capacity. And
I appreciate that you told us the story about how you got hacked. I'm sure there's so many of us that look. I was like 18 or something. I did the whole wire transfer thing. It wasn't too much. But it was stupid.
To somebody in Nigeria?
No, he wasn't in
Nigeria. A prince in Nigeria that wants to send you his wealth and all he needs.
Before social media. So listen, I got my trauma out the way beforehand, okay? So I didn't get caught up in this era of hacking.
Yeah.
But no, I'm sure look, if you're buying a Christian Dior purse, you're getting hacked.
Okay.
Well, yeah, or if they're selling it, if they're making it for $50 and you're paying $5,000 for it, you're getting hacked. You had to get hacked for you to be okay with paying that amount for something that's not worth that much. So
I can see why
there's hacking in different ways.
Sure. That's consensual hacking. in my opinion. So I understand the point that you're making, and I agree to a certain extent.
Hack me.
Yeah, I think the person who does that, they have definitely been, we can say manipulated. I think there's a certain level of manipulation that some people do it. The people who can't afford it that go and do that, I think they've been manipulated. The people who can afford it do it as a form of flexing. But then there's also the people who are extremely rich, like the uber wealthy.
You never see them carrying none of that
because
shit.
they don't want you to know.
Yeah.
Because they know the instant that you know they have money, they are now a target.
Yeah.
And they don't want to actually become a target. So they stay quiet. They stay under the radar, in the shadows, so to speak. Because the really wealthy know that the most valuable asset is anonymity. To be rich without the fame. All I want is money plus the fame of a simple man. The epic line of Tupac Shakur. So it's like they know that once people know that you have money, there are now a million targets on you. And now you have to have your guard up all the time. And you have anxiety all the time. And you're paranoid all the time.
Right.
And who the hell wants to live like that? Like,
I don't know. People
even
do
the
drugs.
biggest masochists, they wouldn't want to live like that. I really can't, like, I don't know, bro. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I don't think they think that far ahead. You know, because
Sure.
I feel like if you grow spiritually, the part about the money doesn't phase you anymore. Like it becomes a tool in your minds. Just as a hammer is a tool, just as
Right.
you know, a gun
As it
is a
should
tool.
be, right.
So for me, you know, getting hacked to spend money that is on something that's not worth to spend money on. I feel like people need to fix themselves and become well with themselves in
Right.
order, because it doesn't matter if you can afford it or not afford it. It's a hack nonetheless. Like you're to me.
No, I agree with you. I'm not saying that it's not. It's just they're when we're looking at the specific context of hacking that I'm working
Right.
on versus what marketing and advertising do to people, and like the ability to manipulate people through FOMO and all these different things to say, hey, you should buy this. If you buy this, you are now a better person for buying
Right.
it. That versus somebody actually getting into your computer and like robbing you of all your shit, it's like it's different levels to this. It's like different levels of hacking.
Of course. I totally get that part. But still,
Okay.
it's still.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
get that part too.
disagreeing with you.
That's like the digital part. But like you said, you got hacked because you were lonely. You were feeling like, you know, life could be different. Your mental and emotional state were hackable.
Right.
Right. So then you
But I
allowed them-
didn't. So I didn't get anything in exchange for my money. So going back to your Christian Louboutin example.
No, you were getting companionship, or so you thought you were getting some sort of like. Right?
Yeah, but with like a digital character who ended up being like some
Yes, but did
manipulated
you
person.
know that when
No.
that was happening? No, you didn't, because your emotional and mental state were that of.
If I bought a Christian Louboutin, I could resell my Christian Louboutin and at least get some kind of money back.
I don't know.
Yeah, for sure you can. You're not going to get all of your money back, but you'll get some kind of money back
Sure.
for reselling Christian Louboutin. Once you get robbed through a hack, you're not getting anything back. So this is we're
So it's
talking
like just
about
the severity level. is
we're
what you're
talking about
saying.
legitimate robbery without the gun in your face. That's what we're talking about. And you're trying to compare that
Yeah.
to somebody shopping.
Yeah, it's robbery. Shopping is robbery too.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
it is.
Okay.
But like you said, you consent to the robbing
You consent to
Yeah.
you walk away with something that you actually can hold
in
on
your
to.
mind.
Right. And physically. There's
Right.
something that physically you can hold on to.
But like that's what I'm saying is if it's $50 or $5,000, that thing that you're holding on to, like what does it change if it was get a $50 one? Why do you get a $5,000 one knowing that it's $50?
You get a demonstration of me supposedly being in a higher social class. When you walk around, people give you certain recognition in social environments. You feel better about yourself because you bought something that's supposedly a higher value product than some crap that you got from the dollar store. There's a lot of things that you walk away with. You personally, now here's the other thing, right? I believe that at a certain point in your life, you're going to become extremely wealthy.
Right.
And you as a person will evolve to the point that, and this is another thing that like I've just kind of seen by kind of being around the production world a little bit. There's a reason why famous people only hang out with famous people and wealthy people only hang out with wealthy people, because everybody else either comes out with their hands out as soon as they know, or they just barrage you, they bombard you with requests of your time and attention and energy and all these things. And it's like, look, I don't want to deal with any of that crap. I just want to be treated like a normal person. And the only way that you can feel like a normal person is to be around other people who are similar to what your current...
Yeah, and that would be applicable to everything.
Right. So when you become super wealthy, I highly doubt that you're going to be hanging around us peasants, so to speak.
I'm already super wealthy.
Financially wealthy.
Yeah, I got everything.
All right.
I got it all.
Okay.
I got a studio I'm shooting out of.
Uh-huh.
I got a car I'm driving.
Do you have
I got
$1 billion
house I
cash in
live
your bank account?
I got 3 kids. I got cash whenever I want in my bank account.
Financially wealthy is what I'm talking about. I know you got money,
Look,
but we're talking about $1 billion net
what
worth.
I'm trying to say is I'm already there. I just need to catch up with it with a couple more zeros.
All right, so
you know?
when the catch-up happens...
It's going to happen.
Can we stop fucking around with the
happen.
semantics? Like when the catch-up, this is always the thing that happens. I'm like, yes, I get it. Yes,
All right,
manifesting. I get it. I got it.
Let's go back. Okay, when the catch-up happens...
When the catch-up happens, I simply don't believe that you're going to be moving the same way that you are right now. That's just my
projection.
premonition. Now, whether or not that's true, we have yet to see.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean,
just
look,
think that.
I've had everything. I've already had everything. I've lived in a $2 million home. I've had an H2. I've had all the badass cars. You know, I've had it all. I've had money anytime I wanted it. It was not mine, but I've had it. Listen, I was a college student, okay? And also, it's not mine because we lease it, we rent it, we this and that it, you know? So it's not mine. But right now, what I do have is a 30-acre property. That's what I have.
That's amazing.
And we can build upon that.
I'm not trying to put you under the spotlight like
put
that.
me
That's
under
not what I
spot.
meant.
I know. But what I'm trying to say is, like, what is the amount of money that is going to make someone feel like it's okay now I can spend $5,000 on a bag?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I still wouldn't.
I think you would.
No, I would not.
I think you would. If you had $100 million
that means
cash,
I'm a hater right now. If you're saying that I would buy the $5,000.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
So I wouldn't,
it's
I promise.
about, look, to somebody who has $100 million cash in their account, a $5,000 purchase is the equivalent of you buying something for 50 cents right now. Do you understand? It's
Of course.
it has nothing to do with any of these perceived notions that we have with it. Just because you buy it and you're like, okay, I want to know what it feels like to get this thing.
I've had it. I know what it feels like.
Okay. All right. Okay, great.
I
well,
don't
you
care
know what?
anymore.
Not very many people are like
Yeah.
that, and it's amazing that you've achieved the level of enlightenment that you have.
All for naught, but I've had a lot of loss, so it's okay to
Sure.
have had it and then have the loss, and again, I can have it again if I wanted to. I still have it in the corners of my closet somewhere. You
Okay.
know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't
Sure.
matter. What
Sure.
matters is what we're going to take from our experience, and our experience is the relationships we build. So, of course, if I make it into the billions, I'm taking everybody that I am building with today, such as yourself. This is a considered building, you know?
Okay.
And we're all going up together. Like, there's so much space.
You heard it here first, folks. We have video evidence of what she said.
Everyone's going.
Yes. So, just saying. You heard it.
This is a locomotion that we all have to participate in it somehow.
Yeah.
I know we got off topic, but it's organic.
Yeah, that's usually how it happens. Every time that we freaking talk, that's usually what happens.
We all have to do it together so that we can reach those heights together. It's just better that way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm a team player,
That's great.
even though I like to fly solo.
That's amazing.
Hacking.
Very good. Very good. You're the host, man. I'm just going along whatever
Like,
path you want to go
It's
to.
not like Joe Rogan always talks about the same thing. They go off.
Listen, we can do whatever you want to do. That's why I'm here. So we can talk about whatever you want to talk about. I'm down to talk.
Armand, so is hacking ethical?
Can be.
Okay, how?
Usually with the awareness of the person that you're hacking. So ethical hacking requires that you actually get permission from the person that you're hacking. So the other term for it is penetration testing. So we want to know if I can penetrate your security. And it could either be physical security. So there have been many buildings that I've gotten into by just pretending like I belong. And then when a person goes and swipes their key card, I'm like, hey, can you hold the door real quick? And then they just let me in the building. That's a vulnerability. Yeah. That's a vulnerability in the system of that company, that they don't verify the identity of the person that's trying to walk into their building. And once I'm in your building, I could do a million things to damage your system. I could set up a bomb somewhere. I could plug something into one of your plugs and just leave it there and nobody knows that it's there. And now I can do everything as if I'm in the building, but I'm doing it from home. So there's so many things that can be done under the guise of penetration testing, but it has to be done with permission. So that's the big thing that makes it from black hat, which is hacking, like malicious hacking, and white hat.
It's called black hat and white hat.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Black hat hacking is you're doing it without any permission, and it's a felony, and there's a lot of consequences if you get caught. White hat is somebody hired you to hack them.
So they can understand their vulnerabilities.
Correct, yeah.
Hey, that's like kind of what I do when people hire me to coach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're doing it at the personal level.
Yeah, personal level.
Because you look at it from the outside perspective and you say, this is what I notice about you, your patterns, and all the things that you are doing regularly. This is where I think your vulnerabilities are. If you continue this way, this is where I think you can fix those vulnerabilities. And there's a cost to both of them.
Right.
Right?
To doing it and to not do it.
Correct. So if somebody takes your advice and says, all right, I want to change, it's probably going to be very uncomfortable. And they're going to have to sacrifice their current self for this future version of themselves that they want to have.
Yeah.
That's a cost. And it's not pretty. A lot of times the work isn't fun. But what you get after you put in the work is excellent. Same thing if they don't listen to what you got to say. And then they just proceed down the same path. And then 5 years passes. Now they have a midlife crisis. And their relationships have imploded. They're suffering financial loss and whatever, yada, yada, yada. There's cost to everything. Yeah. Everything has a price. Just depends on which one do you want to pay. So
is it safe to ignore these like feelings that you might... Okay, so for example, I get text messages, right? That means that I have been hacked somewhere else. If I'm getting this text message, something else has already been exposed, correct? Like my information has already been
potentially shared. Sure.
Yeah. So then, okay, how do we fix these hacks? Like, what do we do to fix them? We have to change password. It's as easy as changing a password.
Yeah. I mean, kind of as we were talking about before we went live with the thing about the growth of the channel, like a lot of these fixes are very simple fixes. It's just doing them regularly is what makes them functional and it makes them powerful. As simple as changing a password, most likely most people aren't going to change their password regularly. You should be changing your password at least once a quarter.
I change it almost every week because I forget it.
Okay, that's great. That's great. I mean, whatever the reason, that's like, it's good.
How did I get hacked if I'm changing it every week?
But the thing is, you didn't get hacked. So if your phone number is being texted, it's as simple as somebody buying a phone number list from somebody else.
I see. So if you bought anything online, we're just already in the mix.
And there's now, especially these days, that speaking of Rogan, they did this like test where at the beginning of the podcast, they started talking about a specific product. The phone was off and all of their apps were closed, but the phone is listening.
Okay.
And so it listens and it captures that data and then it starts promoting certain things to you. This falls under cookies and your cache.
Yeah.
And so when those things exist, you don't even need to consent to your information being sold to somebody. They're just doing it.
Okay.
You understand? Like certain websites just do it. They just and they call it strictly necessary cookies.
Okay. Why is it strictly necessary?
Because it's their bullshit way of saying that there's something called GDPR, it's the General Data Protection Regulation. It's a European thing, but every website that goes through it, every website that's available online has to abide by it.
Okay.
And it's this very simple thing of, we're promising that we're not going to sell your data, but we have to collect your data.
Okay, I see.
And so if they do that, now it exists in their database. And if somebody gets into their database, now it's available to them. Or they resell the information to a marketer. This is why Facebook went through the ringer for all of their advertising policies, because they were capturing all of this data and they're reselling it to businesses who want to market to you. And so people are like, yo, why? And so they came up with like a slew of disclosures and if you don't want to be advertised, you go turn all of these things off and we won't capture your data and do all these things. But if you don't, by just using the app, you're giving them consent that they can use your data for whatever they want, essentially, and resell it to a million other companies. So your data was at some point mined or scraped and sold.
I mean, just being on these social medias, we've already consented to potentially being hacked.
Correct.
Yeah. So why are we so addicted to it? How come we need it so much?
That's a whole other conversation. It's a dopamine fix. Every single time you pick up your phone, you're getting a shot of dopamine. People's dopamine receptors are burnt.
Yeah.
Because they're so hooked on this shit. We live in an entertainment society. People get shots of dopamine every single time they open their phone and they go check an app. And this is one of the reasons why you're like, hey, support me and do it. Like, it's a dopamine thing. Like when you see somebody like your
Bubba, I'm
post,
trying to be a billionaire.
It's a dopamine thing. Dopamine is the chemical of pursuit.
Sure.
No bullshit. It's like the chemical. People think it's the chemical of success, achieving something, but it's actually the chemical of pursuit of something. So you get shots of dopamine every time you go after something.
Interesting.
So when you
So that's why when people are purposeless, they're more depressed.
Correct. Yes.
They have no
exactly.
will and drive.
They're not getting high on the chemicals from their brain.
See.
Yes.
Oh my God! So I'm constantly getting shots of dopamine.
Yes,
all
exactly.
day, every day.
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
I looked this up like when I was going through my chemical withdrawals, when I was super, like I'm trying to overcome all my addictions. I was like, okay, so what is the chemical that's being released when I'm depressed? What's the chemical that's being released when I'm happy? What's the chemical that's released after sex? What's the chemical that's released before you are about to have sex? Like all of these chemicals, and then you start connecting them, and it's like, oh my God, these are all addictive. Like all of these things are genuine addictions. Depression is addictive because the chemical release that comes from it, people get used to it, and now they're addicted to that feeling, and no matter how much motivation you give them, but
it doesn't feel
this
right
is why it won't work.
Yeah.
And it's like, bruh, I just outlined everything that can work. Yeah, but you don't understand. For me, it's not going to work.
They don't want us to win.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but I joke with it.
Bruh.
No, listen.
You just want to snap out of it.
Was that by their shoulders or their neck?
Both.
That was really close to be the shoulders. That's why.
It was a compact person.
Okay. Very small.
A baby.
Frame.
It was a baby.
My God.
I was shaking a baby. I was like, get your shit together.
Don't shake the baby. That's the first thing they told us out of the
hospital. What are you going to do?
Yeah, they said, don't shake your baby.
What are you going to do, huh? Sue me? Blog about me? Let me hear about you in the comments.
I don't know. All right. That was let
feed-
me hold on. The channel change. Real
feed the
quick.
algorithm. Just hate as much as you want. Just do it in the comments.
So feed the algorithm. Support me. Is that what it is? When you say feed the algorithm, it's the same thing as saying support me, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I just like saying I want to hear from you. Drop a comment. If you have a complaint, if you want me to adjust something, anything, drop a comment. I just know that when they do drop a comment, it feeds the algorithm.
For sure. I always love the haters because they love to comment.
It's
Those
promo.
are the best. Like
It's promo.
my friends aren't even on watching, but my hater was the first person in line
Yeah. And
to make sure they.
thank you for your opinion.
Yeah.
I appreciate the feedback.
We love you.
Yeah.
Armand,
Yes.
I want to know
Tell me.
what is aside from you getting hacked, is there a case that you've been working on that's a really bad, like, have you been hired to like unhack people?
Unhack people. I have been contracted.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not to unhack people, but to protect people because they were previously hacked and they want to know what happened and they don't want it to happen again.
And
So,
how can people hire you for this?
shoot me a
job?
DM.
Okay.
Assuming you are going to put some of the stuff up, but my Gmail personally is armandtheautomator@gmail.com. My persona email is hankhackerson@gmail.com.
Hank Hackerson.
Yeah, and or Hank Hacks Hackers, excuse me. It's hankhackshackers@gmail.com. The YouTube
And
channel.
Peter picked the pickles pepper.
Yeah, that's
pipers.
literally how I came up with the name.
Oh,
That's
okay.
like literally, I was like,
I
hey,
love
what's
it.
going to go with hack? I'm like, Hank goes with hack. And I'm like, Hank Hacks Hackers. This kind of, I like that. I like the way that sounds. I had no idea that it would turn into what it turned into, but I'm like, this is kind of cool. Like, there's a community
it.
now.
Yeah. Who would have thought people were into hacking?
There are so many people.
So on your channel, do you teach people how to hack?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
We
God.
go into like the details, like into nitty gritty stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, how to scan a system, how to scan a network, how to find vulnerabilities, how to exploit vulnerabilities.
He says it with like a smile on his face.
Because it's
I love
so
it.
fun. It's so fun. It's the equivalent of video games for
Yeah.
me. It's so fun.
So when your kids are playing video games today, they're going to grow up to be hackers tomorrow.
Most really good hackers are kids.
Yeah.
They're geniuses, these freaking kids.
Amazing.
Because they have nothing to do with their time but to try all of these different strategies. So they'll sit there and they'll try literally every exploit and they're like, oh, this one worked. And the rush that you get, the high that you get from
The
something,
dopamine shot.
oh my God, it's something
For
else.
tapping into the...
It's something else. There's these two kids that were, I think, based out of Europe or something that hacked this like representative from the CIA. He was like one of the heads of the CIA. 15-year-old kids.
Wow.
Like genius kids. And then of course, most men fall on their face when a girl becomes involved. And this is exactly how the kid got caught. There was a girl he had a crush on. They were getting high together one day. And she was like, yeah, did you hear about this guy that happened? And he's like, yeah, that was us. And he didn't think anything of it. He didn't think that she was going to go say anything. But she told this other guy who was jealous of the kid. And then he went and reported them. And next thing you know...
So is it the girl or is it the big mouth guy?
It's both.
No, it's the big mouth guy because the girl's already going to be a big mouth.
Okay. And so what, a 15-year-old kid's supposed to know that?
Yeah, he hacked into the freaking CIA's thing. He
Yeah,
should
that
know
doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean you're socially aware. You're
Nah,
technically
Baba.
savvy.
We're just saying everyone is responsible for their own actions. And
Okay.
his was speaking about it when he shouldn't have.
It's a vulnerability. People have
There you go.
vulnerabilities. Humans are...
Even hackers have vulnerabilities.
Of course. They're
Did
human.
you hear about that guy that hacked into the GTA 6? He hacked
It's not even out.
I know. He hacked into it and like released some things. And then Rockstar Games, I think it's Rockstar.
Mm-hmm.
They're actually either suing him or want jail time. Like it's a big felony what he did.
Yeah.
And they want to put him into jail for like, I don't know, 100 years. I'm giving a number. It was obscene. It just didn't
Sure.
match the crime.
Yeah, I mean, do you know how much money they made from GTA 5?
Billions.
$35 billion.
Jesus Christ.
From one video game. That's insane when you think about it.
It's all those skins and stuff that kids are buying.
No, bro, it's just the game.
Just the game itself.
200 million people bought the game. The game goes for $150. 200 million times $150 is $30 billion.
$150? I don't remember paying that much for it.
Yeah, no, video games these days are expensive as fuck.
$150?
Yeah.
I'd never pay that. But now we all know I'm cheap as hell.
No.
$150. But yeah, that's insane.
It's expensive, bro. It's insane.
But yeah, so they're looking to lose a lot of money for a hacker to go into.
Yeah, if somebody releases something in advance and it hurts their freaking bottom line.
I think he was an autistic kid too.
Yeah, they're geniuses.
Yeah.
This is the thing, right? It's like the kids of the future are going to have social anxiety, but they're going to be technically very savvy compared to the kids of our era.
We were outside until midnight, throwing rocks at each other, playing war.
My nephew, my stepsister's son, essentially, the kid is with an iPad all the time. Like that's how his mom.
They're all like that.
Yeah, and it's like that they know how to work all of these things before they'll learn how to speak.
For sure.
And that's the thing. That's like.
It's scary, but I feel like it's evolving, and this wave is going to be the technology. Next wave it might be the outdoorsies again. You know what I'm saying? So
they definitely exist, like the shroomers.
Yeah,
there's a lot of shroomers.
Shroomer kids.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. Okay. They want to connect with their spiritual selves, and they're super enlightened.
Hippies are making a comeback.
But it's also like the super technically savvy guys and gals who really want to get away from technology.
So it's the same kid?
Yeah. It's like an interesting world. Steve Jobs did acid.
Yeah.
Like it's not.
They all did acid.
Yeah, it's like the most technically savvy people want to get away from all the high tech stuff, and they want to go into nature. And so they're like, okay, so what's the extreme opposite of this? Let's go take some acid and go into the forest.
They're also critical thinkers, and the hallucinogenics and psychedelics, they make you think more critically, more, I guess, intellectually,
creatively. They open up your brain.
Yeah.
The neuroplasticity is very real. When you take mushrooms or acid or something like that, you open your mind up to a lot of possibilities. And when you're trying to fix a specific... I've done this with coding a lot. Like I run into a wall when I'm trying to code something, and if it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, I'm going to step away from this. I can't smoke or drink, so I'm going to just go take some mushrooms and then just go to the park or go to the beach. And then...
And it helps you.
Absolutely. Like it resets. It resets your system. And then you come back and you look at the code again and you're like, oh my God, it was staring me right in the face.
Well, psilocybin is known to cure like degenerative nerve conditions, by the way.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Alzheimer's and dementia and like it's amazing. And I'm like, why? And then so now, okay, so let's talk about conspiracy theories, because how much time do we have? Are we like good on time?
We have like 10 more minutes, right?
Okay, whatever. We're just gonna go full throttle until the very end. The same.
You guys got it with the hacking, right? All right, good.
Whatever, dog. If you have questions, just email
Contact
me.
Armor.
Yeah, it's all good. We're all good. It's all good. The same companies who feed these people these Alzheimer pills and all these different things are the ones that stand to lose billions of dollars if somebody gets their Alzheimer's fixed.
Yeah, of course. That's the case with everything.
Yeah, and so you have this magic fungus that grows out of cow dung that can actually heal you, but why would they make that legal?
The same cow who you give a dewormer to, you give that same dewormer to a person, it kills the parasites in their body, aka cancer.
Right. Or, the thing that YouTube banned the channel for.
What? Oh, yeah. Maxine?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I heard the laugh.
Yes, correct.
Maxine. Thank you. We're going to say Maxine all day.
Yeah.
They banned the channel because of that word.
I thought that they were like past it. I thought that it was like long gone. I had no idea that was even a thing anymore.
They're still covering it up. They messed up so hard. Well, they didn't mess up. They didn't mess up. They did exactly what they were supposed to do with the vaccines. And, you know.
But it's the same. Like, this is the thing, right, bro? It's like there is. It drives me crazy when my mom and like people that are close to me illegal in Canada.
Yeah.
Like, and these different like it's illegal for them to sell this stuff. And how is it that you don't get it? Like, how is it that it's not clicking for you? Because the same company who owns the pharmaceutical company that's supposed to cure you, that same company owns the food manufacturing company that's making you sick.
Armand, today I was with my aunt and my dad, and I'm looking at you, but I'm looking at myself. Because I was literally just standing there. Hey, you know, this kills and that kills and the fluoride here and then there. And I'm just like,
I feel like a crazy person,
I feel like a
bro.
crazy person too.
I feel like
I was
a
laughing
crazy
because I'm
person.
looking at you, but I'm looking at me.
Yes, I know. This is why we've been friends. This is why we were friends for as long. It is maddening. It's maddening.
Like, I understand we can't get rid of all of it. Like, it's just we can't get rid of all of it until we go live an Amish lifestyle. That's it. We can't.
I don't think you need to do all that because I'm not Amish.
Yeah, but no, like we can't get rid of our cell phones. We can't get rid of the coffee that we're drinking that's also poisonous and acidic. Like, we can, but we don't.
Coffee is a neurostimulant. Coffee is great for you.
Yes, but not the ones from these major chains.
Yeah, if there's mold in your coffee, then you have problems. But
Which
if you
there
have like
always is in
not
these
always,
major
not
chains.
always. Like if you drink coffee that actually gives you brain fog, then you know there was mold in it. But if you drink coffee and you're fine, there's no mold in it. Like it's a noticeable effect.
Yeah, but then like, what are you gonna do? Test out the coffee for mold by drinking it?
No,
all
you
the time?
Google and you find the brands that
don't have mold?
Yes,
We have no mold in our coffee.
correct.
Like, who's testing for mold after they bought the
A
thing?
lot of companies.
Like, no, but like you buy it, they say there's no mold, but how can they guarantee that mold didn't grow?
Well, it's a lawsuit if
Yeah,
you
but
sell
who's
something.
testing it?
It's the physical effects that it has on you.
And people think that brain fog is after the fact. Oh, I didn't have my coffee. That's why I have brain fog. And then they chug it. But what you do have is parasites in your brain. That's what brain fog is caused from.
Parasites in your brain is
Yeah.
like it's a whole other problem.
You got to
need-
detox.
you need way more help than any of the stuff that we're talking about. You need to go get some CT scans,
you got
bro.
tapeworms in your ass.
You need to go look at all of that shit because if there's parasites in your brain, son,
People live with it, and they have brain fog, and they have fatigue, and they have drowsiness. And
didn't JFK like have parasites in his brain? He had like a worm in his brain or something?
I don't know, but they shot it right out of it.
Yeah, it's the power of politics.
Sorry.
It's always great when you have people behind the camera laughing. Like it's the greatest thing.
And you can't help it. Like, I
It's
don't
one
have
of the
the
greatest
professional
feelings
not
ever.
laughing thing.
It's one of the greatest feelings ever when the crew behind the scenes
Yeah.
starts laughing. It's
well,
the
you know, you
greatest
got
shit
it
ever.
down.
It's very fun.
Oh my God, Armand.
Yeah.
I want you to just grace us with your final statements for the show for today. I'm so specific when I say things.
Awareness is everything. I think the more introspective you are, the more knowledge you'll have to figure out your life, to figure out what you need. It takes a lot these days because we're so addicted to these devices to turn it off and spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes in silence and just figure out what's going on inside of you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, you will be exposed to everything that you need to fix. And then you just do some research and try to fix it. It's not complicated. It's just not easy for most people. Because most people want, okay, give me a quick fix.
Mm-hmm.
What can I take? What can I eat? What is the one exercise that I can do that'll give me a six-pack? And it's like, that's not how it works. The damage that you've done to yourself has been done over the last 20 or 30 or 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you're asking me to fix it for you overnight. How does that work?
I love how this is interchangeable with hacking and life.
It applies to everything.
And everything.
It applies to everything. So if you can be aware enough to admit what your strengths are, and this is one of the themes that we always talk about. Like every conversation that we've ever had has come down to this. And it applies to everything. It applies to finances. It applies to your cyber protection and your cybersecurity. It applies to your personal health. It applies to your relationships. It applies to everything. If you can be aware enough to admit where your shortcomings are, you take inventory of yourself and you figure out where your strengths are, where your shortcomings are, and then you just approach it subjectively without any biases. And you say, okay, I'm going to fix these things, or I'm going to work on fixing these things. And then I'm going to lead with my strengths. Mm-hmm. Your life will be significantly better. And it's hands down, I think that applies to anybody and everybody.
I literally said the same thing on my last show last week about weaknesses and strengths. Identify the weakness, build on your strength.
Yeah.
And move forward. So this is why we're friends. We think
it's profound. It's just not, people don't do it. And they're like, yeah, I wonder why my life is going to shit. It's like, well, you're not doing the work. Like, what do you want from me? How much motivation and inspiration can one person give you if you're not willing to do the work?
People get overwhelmed because they think they have to do it all at once. But what they have to do, what you have to do, is actually identify it one by one and work on it one by one. So that way you get things done. That sounded like a Dr. Seuss rhyme.
Okay.
I like to end on that.
We can end on that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for coming tonight and watching us talk. And I'm trying to do a Dr. Seuss rhyme. Do you mind?
Wait, can I?
Oh, that sounded like it rhymed. He mind. Oh, he's picking my nose on camera. Great. Yeah. All right. Well, subscribe to Red Angeles Network. I don't know where you're going to subscribe. Subscribe to X, subscribe to Rumble, subscribe to all the major streaming sites.
On all major platforms, yeah?
Yes. YouTube likes to ban us because we like to say Maxine. I don't know. Just subscribe and watch and share and join. So if you have a compelling story you want to share, I'd be down to have this conversation with you. Hit me up in my DMs. And yeah, good night. Good night. See you next week.
What? Look at that. Look at that. That's so fancy. Oh, shit.
Vámonos.
Let's go.